Let's begin, D. Hello, people. Sue Jerry speaking. TheCrazyBunch's WebShow is number 101. Today we're doing not one, not two, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 death topics to read, and then we got a topic to share on what's going on yesterday. So let's do it right now, shall we? So we got for us. We'll start with Joey D. Barrera. Excuse me. Born Joseph Douglas Barrera, someone that known as Joey D. Barrera, was an American actor, American film and television actor. He began as a child actor using the professional name Dog Keeler, playing celebrity Porky Barway in several seasons in 1954 and 1957 of Lassie. Barrera borrowed the professional surname for his aunt Ruby Keeler, star of numerous Warner Brothers musicals in the 1930s. He was born on April 8th, 1944, in Los Angeles, California. His other TV appearances included curry roles in Pride of the Family and Hague. Guest appearances of Mary Loves, W. Gillis, Shirley Temple's Storybook, and My Three Sons. Later in his career, he appears in episodes of Moonlighting, Rebellion Seal, and Married with Children. His film appearances included The Private War of Major Benson in 1955 with Charles Henson, and The Page in 2000 with Mel Gibson, in which he played as Peter Howard, Browse wrote, produced, and direct. Wow. He also has a music career in the 1970s and 80s. One of the both songs was set with the title of the career song 911/Mr. Lonely, but on the album Flower Boy. In addition to being the nephew of the late Ruby Keeler, is a half-brother of late child actor Ken Weatherblacks, while he portrayed Kelsey Adams on the 1960s television sitcom The Addams Family. He died the day before the 81st birthday on April 7th, 2025, after long illness while receiving hospital care. The next death topic has to do with Nicky Katt. Born that name, he was an American actor. He began his career as a child actor. As an adult, he played unsupported characters or villains. He was best known for his starring role in the television show Boston Public, and his prominent supporting role in multiple films by Richard Linklater, Steven Soderbergh, Robert Rodriguez, pronounce his last name, sorry, anyway, Christopher Nolan, including Dazed and Confused, Limply, Sensei, and Eyes Maria, And his other film credits include Time for Kill, Ballroom, The Way to the God, Six-Headed Lions. He's born on May 11, 1970, in South Dakota. He was married to Ann Rose from 1999 until his divorce in 2001. He began his career as a child actor, billing in 1980s episode Fantasy Island, following the film Underground A's, and played an episode of Chips and Five, something like that. As an adult, he is known for his roles as Underwriters teacher Harry Senate, David A. E. Kelly's Fox drama series Boston Public. He was often cast as a villain. He included as a serious cop in the take of a monk, as mysterious Merhead and Dazed and Confused, and able to play white supermated child rapist in Time to Kill, and Maris, a business rival, and Ballroom, so that. Cast other roles include Tim in Star Ori in 1996, Stacey Hitman in Lamy in 1999, Dolph Hitler in Full Throttle in 2002, Fred Duggar in Amnesia in the same year, Soka in Sin City 2005, and Nate Pereira in Snow Angels in 2008. He voiced the character Alan Ray in Star Wars *The Old Republic 2: The Sith Lords. In 2004, he appeared in the off-Broadway production of the Woody Allen play The Secondhand Memory. He died on April 8th, 2025 in Burbank, California. He was 54 years old. Death was given. No cause of death was given. So we'll get back. The next death topic has to do with Lenny Welch. Born Leon Lenny Welch. He was American MOR and pop singer. He was born in New York City on May 31st, 1948. Raised in Albury Park, New Jersey. Okay? By his godparents, Eva and Robert Richardson. He attended Albury Park High School when he was 16 years old. Welch participated in the Irish rehearsal in the Marquise in the Albury Park, but his first time singing with another person. In 1960, Welch signed with Cummins Records, my dad. His biggest hit, a cover version of the big band standard Since I Fell For You, reached number 4 in the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 charts in 1963, selling 1 million copies. His other hits include Ebb Tail, and You Don't Know Me. He also recorded the first vocal version of Taste for Honey in 1962 and performed the theme song in 1967 CBS TV series Cognac Blue. Welch began reimagining Neo Synopsis, my dad. Big It Was Hard to Do, it's a Torch Song, my dad, which became the top 40 hit in 1970. Synopsis re-recorded the song in Welch's style of the top 10 hit in 1975. Wow. In his later years, after Welch recording ended, by that, he resumed his education. After attending night school, after driving a taxi cab, driving today, he first received a high school graduate degree. Then graduated from the college in New Rochelle, something like that, with a bachelor's degree, something like that. He also began singing for commercials. First the Subaru, and later for products that included Coca-Cola, M&M's, I stopped at M&M's, and many Oreos. Wow. And from 1990 to 1991, Welch joined the World All-Stars, doo-wop All-Stars. First the supergroups to be formed, bringing together singers for different groups to perform. This group is considered Welch's video basketball for video and salutations like that, and Ari Laura. Earl, Ray Silverman from Empires, and Eugene Pitt from the Jive 5. They became mastery of the doo-wop circuit and toured immensely in the following years. He died on April 8th, 2025. He was 86 years old. He came to me in Florida following a long illness. My next step topic has to do with Mel Novak. Born Melvin. This last name I cannot pronounce. Sorry, it's hard to pronounce. Sorry. Anyway, he was known as Mel Novak. He was an American actor who was best known for villainous roles in Bad Belt Joe, something like that. The Game of Death and Eye for Eye. He's also known for doing all the stunts and fighting scenes. Wow. Born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to serve parents on June 16th, 1944, something like that. Novak made his film debut in 1974 when appearing in 2 box Ryan films, including Tractor, starring Isaac Hayes, and Black Belt Joe, starring Jim Kelly, something like that. Anyway, that was directed by Robert Claus, leading the part of the Clauses, The Ultimate Warrior, 1975, starring Yoel Bryer. Cat of the Cage, 1978, starring Sybil Day and Albert Paul. More high-profile parts from the 1970s was a Hot Hitman, Stick, and the Game of Death, 1978, same year. Anyway, again directed by Robert Claus. Novak also had roles in 2 Chuck Norris films, including Force of One, 1979, and The Eye for Eye, 1981. At return of the 80s, Novak also acted mostly the independent features, such as Lovely But Deadly in the same year, 1981, for producer and director David Sheldon, starring B-movie heroine Lucy Ann Doley. 1990s to 2000. In the 1990s, Novak appeared in 2 films with director Gary Marshall, the late Gary Marshall that is. Exit the Ending in 1994, based on a novel by Anne Rice, which is boring. I hate Anne Rice with a passion. So, who was she me? Oh. I thought Anne Rice was not boring, but okay, whatever. I thought it was a different Anne Rice, but it's not. But okay, whatever. I thought it was whatever it was, but it's not. Oh well, whatever. And Dear God, in 1996. In 2005, Novak appeared in the action horror film Vampire Assassinate Sentence, something like that. Also featuring Jared Ogwell, something like that. Anyway, Novak acted in several films, something like that. And Ruby Ray Moore. In 2008, Novak couldn't sell the Materials Art Hall of Fame in London. In 2015, Novak had predominant roles in action film. In Soviet Cop 2, Deadly Vengeance, like that. He also a army minister, known for doing celebrity funerals and memorials like the Chuck Connor's son Jeffrey Allen Connors and Tim Burton's father Bill Burton. He also worked in the Skid Row and prison ministry for over 39 years. He also had 2 daughters, Nicole and Lee, and 2 grandchildren with daughter Leah. He died in hospital care in Grand Hills, California on April 9th, 2025. He was 9 years old. The next topic has to do with Ted Kolev, born William Theodore Kolev. He was a Canadian Bolivian director and producer of film and television. Wow. He was best known for having directed such films as the famous Australian New Wave picture Wicked and Friday, United States 1, Margaret Richer adaptation of Precious and the Deadly Comics, United States 4, Joshua Van Now in 1985, the original Rambo film, First Blood in 1982, the comics such as Fight with Dick and Jane in 1977, North $10 for in 1979, with Wiggins and Burries in 1989. Okay? He was also nominated for Genie Awards for Best Achievements in Direction, like that. A Gemini Award for Best Direction and Directed Comedy Program in miniseries, like that. And twice for the Cannes Film Festival Palme d'Or, something like that. Anyway. He won the Golden Bear at the United States Fort Burn International Film Festival for the appearance of Danny Correz, the British Academy Television Award for Best Drama Series for his work on Playing for Today. He received the Director's Guild of Canada, something like that. Lifetime Achievement Award in 2011, and the Academy of Canadian Cinema Television's Board of Directors Tribute Award in 2014. Described as Toronto's International Film Festival as the talented, multi-faceted juryman director of the tradition of Leo McCurry and Robert Wise. He was born, his name was registered as an official document as William Theodore Tribe in Toronto, Canada, where he was originally born into in the family of Boston immigrants. Who changed their last name to Kolev. Bardem is pronounce these names. To Kolev, something like that. For coincidence. His father was born Poldev, I pronounced this country's name, sorry. And his mother was a Marginalian Bulgarian background. Was from a Romanov Armenian Empire, today in Greece, but grew up in Bulgaria. His birth name is Volodymyr I agree with you. How to pronounce his name. Sorry. Bargren is this name. On April 7, 1941 in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. But his career began with this. After graduating English literature from University College, University of Toronto, Collins began his television career at the age of 24, where he would join the staff of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, something like that. Television is fantasy, something like that. He was the youngest director of the staff at the CBC. Okay, we worked for 2 years on shows such as Great Miles Beer, Color, and Great Force Performance, and On Camera. Anyways, he was the British television in 1958. He left Canada to work in the United Kingdom. He soon followed with his compatriot Sidney Newman, who had been the director of drama for the CBC, and then to the United Kingdom and take over the similar post in the ABC Weekend TV. One of the franchise holders in the ITV network, who had produced so much of the nationally network programming for the channel. Anyways, ABC, Newman was producer of the popular Armchair Theater, okay? Armchair drama programming, which our chief worked as a director between 1957 and 1960, okay? Call Chief was responsible for directing some of the best remembered installments. During Underground, transmitted live on November 30th, 1958. He was also required to call up one of the actors, Clive Jones, playing a character was wanted to die in a heart attack. Wow. So he died one himself off camera, while between scenes, leading Peter Balls and others who were pros from that. Anyway, more successfully, he was directed the following years No Tramps to the Lime Street by Welsh playwright Owen Lowen. Okay? He also did Hour of Mystery, I Have You to Remember 1961 by Clive Exton, and episodes of BBC Sunday Night Play, ITV Television Playhouse, Upperage, First Night, ABC Stage 67, Drama 61 in 1957, and ITV Playhouse. Okay? Sorry about that, everyone. But anyway, Fear, okay? He's also working in the Fear, okay? He directed the original 1964 and 1965 West End production of the musical Maggie May, and the actual Fear, which won the Ivor Marshall Award for Outstanding Score of the Year in the Critics Poll, the Best New British Musical. His feature films in Britain goes like this. He has made his first film with Charlie in 1952. He directed other features during the decade, including Live at the Top in 1965 and Two Gentlemen Share in 1969. He also directed The Human Voice in 1967, okay? For British television. Starring Ingrid Bergman for the story of Jean Cockatoo, something like that. And TV remakes of Despaired Hours in the same year, 1967, and A Mice and Men in 1968. He directed a concert at the Drop of a Hat for TV. He directed the Australian film Wagon and Fright USA Outback in 1971, released in the original title in 2012. He won much critical acclaim in Europe, was Australia's entry to the Canadian Film Festival in 2009. Wagon and Fright was released on DVD and Blu-ray disc in a fully restored version. He returned to television, directing the Play Today production End Up. Incredible Woman in 1971 for the BBC, which won him the British Academy Television Award for Best Director. In 2000, the play was voted one of the 100 greatest British television programming in the 20th century to pull up industry professionals conducted by the British Film Institute. Return to Canada. Okay? He returned home to Canada when he directed the adaptation of Fred His Friend, one-time housemaid, Marshall Richard's novel, the Presidents of WWW Conference in 1974, which won the Golden Bear in the Berlin Film Festival. Okay, making his first English-Canadian dramatic feature film to win an international award. In 1975, the movie won the Canadian Film Awards Belated Film of the Year Award. That's in 1974. Ceremony was not held, sadly. Okay. The film was since been recognized in the classic Canadian cinema. The Toronto International Film Festival ranked in the top 10 Canadian films of all time twice, in 1984 and 1993. He also directed the trailer Sagari and Daniel in 1975. For Canadian television was production consultant Why Shoot the Teacher in 1977. Okay, Hollywood, okay? In Hollywood, he directed Fun with Dick and Jane in the same year, 1977, which is a big hit. And he followed it with the comedy Who's Killing the Great Chefs of Europe in 1978. They wrote directed North Dallas Boy in 1979, which is critical acclaim, okay? He also directed the Canadian film Split Image in 1982, which is the biggest success to date with the Sylvester Stallone movie First Blood in the same year, 1982. The first in the Rambo movie series, okay? He worked in another Vietnam theme action movie, Common Valor in 1983. Then returned to Canada to make Joshua Then Now in 1985 for the novel by Marjorie Richler. He also directed Switching Channels in 1988 and Where People in 1989. They had a big hit with Weekend Birdies in the same year. Now on to television. In the 1990s, Coliff returned to directing for television, working on various American series such as Where Shoes Diaries and Buddy Boaz, as well as Cosby in the United Kingdom. He also did additional feature-length films such as Folks in 1992 and Sure in the same year I was born in 1995. He did television movies like What Fairies Before in 1993, Love in the Run in 94, Family of Cops in the same year I was born in 95, Husband and Wife and the Lover in 96, Ball Hearts in 97, Choir Rape in 1999, and he joined the staff of the Law and Order SBU, where he was working as executive producer and director through 2012. Okay? His personal life and death goes like this. Okay? Coliff lived in Beverly Hills with his wife Robin Nee Chong. They have two children, Alexander, a filmmaker, and Thomas, a composer and pianist. He has 3 children from his previous marriage from actress Sirian K, Arian, Carria, Kaffria, and Joshua. Teddy Coliff was a vegetarian. In May and June 2013, he was invited to the Film Forum in New York City for releasing his film, The Apprenticeship of Dottie Corris, the restorer of the Academy of Canadian Cinema of Television. In February 2016, Coliff applied with Belgian citizenship, CPA, and the Belgian State of Los Angeles. It was granted this is during the Belgian in March of 2016. His mother roots came from the Belgian South Macedonia, while his father was from the Bulgaria. Born in Canada in 1931, his first language was Bulgarian, which he learned from before English. Wow. He ate Bulgarian food, and all his friends were Macedonian. He saw no difference between Macedonian and Bulgarian. Seeing both cultures as one and the same, he served as one of the directors of the Bulgarian Arts Council. He has said, I love Bulgaria. Bulgarians are my people, and I have always felt as a Bulgarian. He died from the heart failure in Northern Barrio, Mexico, on April 10, 2025, 3 days after his 94th birthday. The next topic has to do with Mario Arsenio Sanchez. Born that name, he was a Cuban actor who was proud intellectual advantage, my dad. Hispanic theater in 1979, Florida, born Jerry 10th, 1947, son Antonio de Las Vegas, Cuba. Okay? He played writer's bit, performed Miami Vice in Hollywood movies, including Advance in the USA in 1985 and The Specialist in 1994. Born that time frame on said Antonio de Las Vegas in Cuba in 1947 January 10th and something like that. That's what I said anyway. He went to the United States as a teenager at age 15. During the Operation Parallel Pan, of course, Barry Rose, he appeared at 5 episodes in Miami Vice, a limo driver. Filmed Miami Vice in 2006 as a different character, and then Progressive British sitcom Only Fools and Horses as a combined drug baron. He died in Miami, Florida on April 10th, 2025. He was 78 years old. My next topic has with Nino Tempo. Born Antonio Tempo. He was an American musician, singer, and actor, okay? But he was best known as a duet partner with his older sister, April Stevens, okay? As well as a frontman for the 1970s pop band Fifth Avenue Sax. He was born in Niagara Falls, New York on January 6, 1945. A musical prodigy, he learned to play clarinet, something like that, and tenor saxophone as a child. It was a talent show where at 4 years of age, and appeared on television with Betty Goodman at age 7. When his family relocated to California, he was featured on the Horace Hattie radio show performing Betty Goodman's Credit Soul. His film career began with this. A child actor appeared in Red Pony and then Glenn Miller's story featuring James Stewart. His musical career began with this. He started actor, session musician, working as a member of the famous session band The Wrecking Crew. After working with Elkie Brooks and recording with Maynard Ferguson, live the Peacock in 1956, via a Bobby Darin recording session. Temple made connections with Atlantic Records and contract with Submarine Icon Records. However, Nino Tempo was known best for this 1963 duet, Deep Purple, on Echo with his sister, Caroline, singer under the stage name April Stevens, which scored #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts, okay? So it was a 1964 Grammy Award for Best Rock and Roll Recording, selling more than 101 million copies and earned a gold disc, my dad. During late 1973, a little less than 10 years after Deep Purple and topped the Hot 100 charts, Temple performed at Neo Temple at the Fifth Avenue, some of that sax. Which had the hit Sister James, reaching number 53 in the Hot 100 on October 27th. Okay? Going AM Records, something like that. Studio, with the backing, writing, producing, and arranging by Jeff Berry. Sister James was best known for becoming one of the first instrument disco records to score the national charts. Sister James is often classified as an example of national Southern soul. During 1975, Temple played saxophone on John Lennon's album Rock and Roll. It was featured soloist on the Cherry Rankin album 1976. In the 80s, he was a voice actor for Garfield TV specials. He died on April 10th, 2025. He was 9 years old. The next step, top of to Drew Zing. Born that name, he was an American rock, blues, soul, and jazz guitarist. Best known as performing the Steely Dan and Bob Stoggs. He was born and raised in New York City in 1957, something like that, the son of David Drew Zing. Eventually learned as a guitarist, spent about 10 years doing the New York club scene. Wow. At times backing Sean Coleman and Lucy Bosney. He also did some Broadway production and session work. Eventually, Zig started playing in a band headed by keyboard player in Brooklyn, Jeff Young. in 1989, Donald Fagen signed up for Young in his band, which included Zing. Eventually, as a rare procession of what eventually became Faggots, along with his future wife, Libby Tunness. Wow. New York Rock and Soul Review. Zing can be heard on the 1991 album, New York Rock and Soul Review, Live at the Beacon, which also features Michael McDonald, Phoebe Snow, and Bob Sags, among others. The New York rock and soul from that gigs, spread to Walter Becker, coming to New York and joined the review in summer '92. Then Fagen and Becker from that decided to hit the road, touring the Steely Dan, with Sting joining them on the tour and led guitar and music director for about 2 years with that. Others joined the Steely Dan Orchestra, where Warren Burhout on keyboards, Peter Herkstein on drums, and John Barney on bass. Wow. In 1995, he was born then. Steely Dan released a live album entitled Alive America that was recorded from the release during the 1993-94 tours, with Zing soloing on Green Orange and Third War Man. In 1996, Zing started touring with Bob Sags. He could be heard the Boss's 1912 release of Great Hits Live. He was touring or recording with Marcus Miller, Ricky Lee Jones, David Strathairn, Grace Knight, Alan Davis, and Patty Austin. He was in the studio. He went to the studio and recorded his first album, self-titled Drew Zing. Released in 2012, it was produced and engineered by George Walker Pennant. He recorded in multiple studios in New York City and California. Guest vocals include Michael McDonald and Bob Sags lend support. And the album includes the talented George Whitty, Will Lee. Not Will Lee, we're talking about Mr. Hooper. No, we're not talking about him. We're talking about another Will Lee. Anyways, and Vinnie Colaiac, like that. The album includes a previously unreleased instrumental tune written by Donald Fagen and Walter Becker, titled Mega Shine City. Never eventually recorded and released by Fagen or Becker. Zing and the band would also cover the Lionel Richie's tune, Easy. Okay? The album received fine reviews. He died this month. He was 68 years old. The next step, top of the list was Mike Berry. Born Michael Herbert Bourne. Known professionally as Mike Berry. He was an English singer and actor. Best known for the top 10 hits, Don't You Think It's Time in 1963, Shine of Your Smile of 1980. And for Portrait, Mr. Spooner in Are You Still Being Served? He was born in Norbion, England on September 24th, 1942. His parents grew up in Romania, England. His mother was an amateur actress and singer. 6 months after his birth, his mother moved with him in North Wales for 2 years. The family then moved to Stoke Newington, where he attended William Penn Primary School, passed his 11-year plus exams on that. When his scholarship had style grocery school, he left the school at age 16 without qualification and became an impression composer. His music career began with this, okay? There was a fan of Skiffy, something like that. Anyway, in rock and roll music as a teenager. He formed his own Skiffy group called the Rebels. They then introduced electric guitars and Kenny Ward and the Skatesman, something like that. Joe Meek, something like that, became the recording manager and producer. And he signed up the group called Stormers, and his new backup band named the new group Mike Berry and the Outlaws. Berry's 3 hits in the 1960s and the U.S. singles charts. His most successful beat, Don't You Think It's Time, reached number 6 in January 1993. Distributed to Buddy Holly, and is noted for having been banned from the beat by the BBC, something like that, for being morbid. The hits and singles were all produced by Joe Meek. In 1972, his album Drip Away, released on Bjork's FYK 409. It says Drip Away, the first version of the song to be released. So it's Take Me Home, Country Roads. In the mid-1970s, okay? Barry returned to the charts in Netherlands and Belgium from that. His pirate radio station, Radio Mi Amigo, and Radio Viraga played his new record material. Released on Dutch record label Pink Elephant Records with that. Dolby Crew made number 14 on the Dutch Navidad Parade May 1975. His next record, a remake in 1960, who debuted song Tribute to Buddy Holly. Hit number 2 in October of the same year. In 1977, a rocker, released on the Flemish record label Scrabble Records, owned by Ray Mi Amigo. Excuse me. DJ Norman failed the chart. In 1980, he had a chart of success in the UK with The Sunshine of Your Smile, a cover of the romantic songs which was produced by Chaz Hodge. This was originally been written before the First World War and recorded by Jesse Bond in about 1915. In 1985, his song Everyone's a Wally was included in the B-side was a video game Micro Gen with the same name. His most recent CD was About Time 2, recorded in Nashville, Tennessee. The Crickets, and the release in the UK label Roller Coaster Records. Various labels on that of choice that still reissue in Joe Meek Productions and new material for the 1990s. In 1988, Barry co-wrote This Is a Kiss with Mel Simpson, which was chosen among the final 8 songs of Song of Europe, UK selection vehicle for the Eurovision Song Contest, formed by the two VDCs with that. Anyway. Some placed second from the 73,785 tail votes with that. In 2016, Barry auditioned the 5th series of The Voice, which was not successful. The following year, in 2017, he won the UK tour with Solid Gold Rock and Roll Show, which featured Ellen McCain, Mark Waker, something like that. Anyway, Weiner, something like that. Anyway, Marty Wald and the Wildcats. In 2019, he toured again with the Solid Gold Rock and Roll Show, along with Marty Wald. Anyway, Charlie Garcia, Nancy Ann Lee, Little Miss 60s, and the Wildcats. Anyway, his acting career began with this. In the 1970s, Barry developed a career as an actor, and he appeared in many television commercials. In 1979, he was cast as father of Mr. Pierce of the 2 children, the television version of Warsaw Gamage, like that. In books, like that, along with John Partridge, like that, and Ona Stubbs. In 1981, his character Bert Spooner replaced Travis Banks's character Mr. Lucas in the British sitcom Are You Being Served as the show's resident heartthrob from that. Anyways, thereafter Barry stayed until the end of the show's run in 1985. After the death of Nicholas Smith in December 2015, until his own death in 2025, it was one lone surviving actor from the shows who played the starring character. Vivian Johnson and Penny Ivory were both of the show's Rolling Grace brothers, nurse and secretary respectively, are the last remaining living cast members following Barry's passing. Barry also starred in a series of commercials for Brewer Bay in the 1980s. His most recent film work was acting in Julian Colex in 1999. His brother was a drag performer in personal life. Anyway, his brother was a drag performer, actor, and activist They born from 1939 until 2024. He died on April 11, 2025. He was 82 years old. My next topic has to have Don Mencher, born Donald Leo Mencher. He was an American producer and director of television and live events, and president of Don Mencher Productions. He was honored with 15 Academy Awards, a record of 10 Director of Guild of American Awards, for outstanding directorial achievements, 2 NAACP Image Awards, a Peabody Award for Excellence in Broadcasting, in 2012 later, that is, Achievement Award in Television for the producer Gold of America. In 2019, Director's Gold of America Lifetime Achievement Award for Television. As producer and director, his cast includes the Oscars, were the ones, the Obama celebration, the Lincoln Memorial, something like that, the Kennedy City Honors, the 100th anniversary of Carnegie Hall, Motel 25, the Super Bowl halftime shows, the late Michael Jackson, the late Prince, Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, the late Tom Petty, and Bruce Springsteen. The Democratic National Commissions, the open ceremonies of I was only one when it came out, but 1996 Summer Olympics and 2002 Winter Olympics. Mencher has also produced specials with Beyonce, U2, Prince, Rihanna, Britney Spears, Bruce Springsteen, James Taylor, Taylor Swift, Stevie Wonder, Willie Nelson, Sting, George Brooks, Mary J. Blige, Elton John, Justin Timberlake, Barbara Streisand, Cher, Yo Ma, and Dolly Parton, among others. He received the Governor's Award for the National Association of Cinematographers and was a member of the Event Industrial Hall of Fame. The producer Gold of America, the Director's Gold of America, and the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, where he served 2 terms on the Board of Governors, like that. As a member of Directors of Gold America, he served 3 terms of the National Board, and in 2019 received the DGA's Lifetime Achievement Awards for Television, only 4th such award ever given to television. He served 2014 from that. Mencher received a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 2004, he produced the Democratic National Convention in the Street Center of Boston. After Jerry Kerry's special speech, balloons were supported to drop from the ceiling onto the diagrams below. However, the balloons got stuck in the ceiling and did not fall. Okay? Mencher's eventually lost his temper. It was a text group, and his profanities were aired accidentally by CNN's live broadcast. Wow. In November 2023, Mencher publishes more 10 seconds to air. My life in the director's chair, recounting the entire span of his career. The Book Review magazine Curtis Reviews wrote, Mencher's writing style is formal and charming. He creates an atmosphere cancer and empathy without going out in his way with emigrated himself to readers with that. The result his recollection is thoughtfully entertaining, but also reflecting and thoughtful, a frank and solid correction of his accomplished career. His last project was the Conservatory 2025 Breakthrough Prize, which was recorded on April 5th, 2025. He had announced the profession of retired beforehand and eventually died 6 days later. Anyways, his personal life and death, before we continue on. Mencher was born in San Antonio, Texas on March 5th, 1940, okay? The son of William Elmer Manchester, something like that. After graduating from Douglas MacArthur High School in San Diego, Texas, Mencher completed his education in the University of Texas, Austin. He graduated with a BA degree in 1961 and with a master's degree with psychology and public science in 1963. Manchester's work was took him to Washington, D.C., where he worked with the U.S. Information Agency Australian Domination Charles Gordon. With his first wife, Beverly, he had 2 children, Jennifer Crusade and Heather Mesher Gosley. After 10 years in New York, he relocated to Los Angeles, where he had 2 children, Charles Donald and Lily Ellison, with his wife Susan Lee Mancher, a former CBS executive and graduate of the Rhode Island School of Design. He died in Los Angeles on April 11, 2025. He was 85 years old. So a lot of the laws like this, but he did a lot on, not just for PBS, on CBS and ABC, but for CNN and other things as well. Great performances, and Meryl Streep for one, but he also did a lot for not just for PBS, but great performances. The first 9 years in NBC, Bob Hope in 1992, but he also did these. Muppet Celebrates Jim Henson in 1998. Wow, I did not know. That was a great nomination, but okay, makes sense. That was a leave, but he also did these falls. But yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense, okay? Anyway, my next topic has to do with Lucy Margadev. Born that name, she was an Australian fashion model of the Craig District. She was best known for her appearance of Australia's Next Top Model in 2015, and for work for brands such as Gravity Brothers, Army, and Victoria Beckham. She was on with Emily Mall Management NYC Mall Management. She was also appearing in various editions of Barge. Producer of Gold Coast, born February 19th, 1998 in Gold Coast, Queensland. In 2015, she appeared in the 9th season of Australia's Next Top Model, which she finished as a runner-up, losing to Brittany Bay of Wilsey. She had a Argyrius malformation, a disease that involved tangled abnormal brain vessels. 1 month before her death, she learned that she needed emergency surgery, which was performed on April 2nd, 2025 in Berlin, Germany. Wow. Read that right now. See? Yeah, I was right. Okay. Anyways, she passed away on April 11th, 2025. In commission for her disease, she was a coma before dying. She had 2 sisters. Lucy Marwick was 27 years old. My next topic has to do with Max Romeo, born Maxwell Livingston Smith. He was a Jamaican reggae roots reggae recording musician who achieved chart success in his home country, the United Kingdom. He had several hits with the vocal group Emotions. His song Wet Dreams, anyway, in 1968 included I'm not going to say the S word, sorry, lyrics, and he launched a new style of reggae. He was born in St. Anne, Jamaica. On November 22nd, 1944, Romeo left home at age 14 and worked in sugar platinum outside Croydon for winning the Knuckle Talent Commission when he was 18. He's planning to move to the capital, Kingston, Jamaica, in order to embark on the musical career. Wow. Makes a whole lot of sense to me. But anyway, career debuts like this. In 1965, Romeo joined up with Kenneth Knight and Lloyd Shakespeare, the Jamaican local group Emotions. While also working in sales and across the label, the group was unsuccessful in auditions with other producers, but Ken Lack offered them as auditions with Smith signed them himself while working. In 1966, the group had their first set, with Black produced by You and Rainbow. The Emotion went on to release several hit singles, and by 1968, the singer, but at that point known as Max Romeo, began his solo career in 1968. When they not having great successes on the charts, Romeo returned to the Emotions, now recorded by Phil Pratt, and founded a new band, the Hippie Boys. Wow. His solo career began with this. 1968 saw a breakthrough in Romeo's career when he wrote Wet Dream, a solo that became a massive hit in Jamaica. The track was banned by the BBC radio in the United Kingdom due to its already lyrics. Wow. Although the singer claimed that he was about a leaking roof, nevertheless, the Wet Dream became a top hit by the United Kingdom. Was spent 6 months in the charts. Fair records that came out in 1989 were Belly Woman, Why Her Go Say, Miniskirt Vision, as well as Max Romeo's debut LP, A Dream. Romeo was banned from performing at the several venues during a tour in the United Kingdom. In 1970, Romeo returned to Jamaica when set up a Robex as an unsuccessful record label and sound system, and released in 1971 his second album, Let the Power Fall. He recorded a number of party charged songs. Most importantly, the Democratic Socialist People's National Party, PNP for short, which chose his song Let the Power Fall as a theme song for the 1972 Jamaican general election. Wow. Became an anthem of the People's National Party movement and marked a movement where culture and politics walk hand in hand, towards a promise today more than just Jamaica. It was one of the influential artists along with Bob Marley who toured Jamaica on the PNP's bandwagon during the 1972 general election campaign. After this, Romeo worked with producer Lee Scratch Perry on the album Revolution Time in 1975, which featured the classic song Free Blind Mice, adoption of nursery rhyme with lyrics and the police raiding of the party. In 1976, Romeo released War in Their Body at Baby Loads with that, an album received his best work. The polishing originally being included the popular single Chase the Devil, which was become one of his most well-known songs. And shortly after this, the pair fell out, leaving Romeo to produced a follow-up album, Reconstruction, which after could not match the success of the Possessors, which was on when it released in 1977. In 1978, Romeo moved to New York City, where he co-wrote with hair producer Michael Butler, with the musical Reggae, which he also starred in. Wow. In 1980, he appeared in the backing vocals of Dance and Rolling Stones album, Emotional Rescue. In 1981, the favorite was returned with Keith Richards of Rolling Stones, co-produced and play on Romeo's album, Hold Up My Love to You, some of that. And unsuccessful attempt by Romeo to break in the North American market. The rest is output during a decade when practically unnoticed. When Romeo found work in New York electronics store, John Holt encouraged him to return to Jamaica. But he lived in Holt's house during the metal work for the year. He also visited the United Kingdom again in 1992, recording albums such as Perry, Cabin My Ship in the same year, 1992. And I write in the year I was born in 1995 with Ja Sega. He joined the United Kingdom section production team, Bagla and Foxy in 1998 for the album Selassie I Favor. A combination album with the main modes of Max Romeo was released in the United Kingdom in 1999. In 2014, he released the album Fathers and Sons, a combination with his sons Ronaldo and Romeo, known as a duo Romeo from that. His star Andasia Smith has started a recording career under the name Actual Romeo. In 2023, He fought lawsuit against University Music Group and Polygram Publishing Incorporated for $15 million. Wow. Claiming he has not been given royalties to his work for over 50 years. He died of heart conditions in the hospital in St. Andrews Parish, Jamaica. And on April 11, 2025, he was 80 years old. Wow. It's shocking, I know. My next step topic has to do with Jean Marsh. Born Jean Lindsay Torrin Marsh. She's an English actress and writer. She co-created and starred in the ITV series Upstairs and Downstairs from 1971 to 1975. For which she won the 1975 Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in the drama series performance of Rosebud. She inspired the role of BBC's revival of the series from 2010 to 2012. Marsh co-created the television series of The House of Iliad in 1991. Her film appearances include Cleopatra in 1963, Quincy in 1972, The Eagle Last Land in 1986, The Challenge in 1980, Return to Oz in 1985, which I never heard of, Willow in 1988, something like that, Fireland in 1994, and Mark in 2000. She also won the free roles in Doctor Who as John England and Cursai. Okay? Cursai is pronounced. Anyway, she returned as Sarah Kingdom, a coronation of the first Doctor, and later played the villain opposite the seventh Doctor, something like that. Anyway, she was really married to John Pertwee, who was playing the first Doctor in the series from 1955 until 1960. She was born July 1st, 1924, and grew up in Stoke Newington, London. Okay? Makes sense anyway. During the 1950s and 1960s, Marsh made many appearances on British television, American television, like that. Including an episode of Twilight Zone called The Lowly in 1959. And, where she portrayed the likes like Robot, the Moon Sixpence, and 1959 opposite Lawrence Oliver and Dawn Elliott. The Wonderful World of Disney in 1961, an episode of the series Danger Man in the same year, entitled Name, Dame, Day and Pete Plays. It's Cam Russell. Something like that. Joanne's Way in 1965, I Spy in 1967, and 4 episodes of that, Say 1964 to 1978, and 1 episode of UFO Exposed in 1970 as Jaina. She was also a regular ITV series in parts of 1966 1967, starring Ian Henry. Marsh also appeared several times in the BBC series Doctor Who. She's also first appeared alongside William Hartnell in the 1965 serial The Cursai as Lady Johnia. The series' sister of Richard the first, some of that. The Lionheart. She returned later that year in the compilation Sarah Kingdom in 9 episodes in the 12-part serial The Dark's Master Plan, something like that. Marsh acquired the role in the audio plays Home Troops in 2008, Drama War in 2009, Guardians of the Solar System in 2010, Fire Compassions in 2011, Harvey Dance in 2012, Live at the End in 2013, Army Live in 2014, Stars in 2016. She also appeared in the 1989 television serial Battlefield and Morgan Yai, something like that, as well as 2007 audio play Wishing Bees. She made an audible cameo appearance in the 2013 docudrama about Doctor Who adventure in space and time. Marsh featured Merva Mason Rochester, George C. Scott, Savannah York versus Jane Eyre, directed by Gilbert Mann. This film was released primarily in the United Kingdom in 1970 and shown in the United States by NBC television in 1971. Marsh's 2000 film is about the death of Henry VIII. Murdoch was released in cinemas in 2014. Wow. With Elliot Atkins, Marsh created the Spanish period drama Upstairs, Downstairs, and played the role of House Parliament Rose Buck with the direction of the series from 1971 until 1975. The program was screened internationally, received a number of awards from the BAFTA Awards, two Royal Television Sky Awards and 8 Emmys Golden Globe. Marsh received a World Television Sky Award in 1971, an Emmy Award with Outstanding Lead Actress in Monroe in 1975. It was nominated for the same award on 3 more occasions: 1974, 1976, and the show's revival in 2011. She also received awards from the American Drama Centuries and the American Drama Critics Circle for the roles, as well as the 2 Gold Globe Awards nominations, something like that. Anyways, she and Atkins were created The House of Eliot, another television series broadcast between 1991 and 1994. This time, Marsh did not act in the series, but she did write in some of the episodes. Anyways, Marsh's film credits includes the Tony Hancock film, The Rebel in 1961, Cleopatra in 1963 as Olivia, Every Stranger in 1964, Charlie Bubbles in 1967, Live a Lie in 1978, Alfred Hitchcock's Frenzy in 1982, Dark Places in 1983, The Eagle Has Landed in 1976, when that's okay. Challenge in 1988, the fantasy films Return to Oz in 1985, which I never seen this before. But anyway, and The Will in 1988. In 1994, she starred in villain role in Nickelodeon Tame Television's remake, The Tomorrow People. Her television films, including Goliath Awaits in 1991, China and Die in the same year, and My Master Game in 1984, The Conjuring Brothers in 1985, Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court in 1989, Far Away in 1994, which she won a Cable Ace Award for Supporting Actress, and The Player Horse in 1997. From 1982 to 1983, she portrayed the part of Rose Keefe in the American sitcom 9 to 5. Marsh serves as the presenter of the International Animation Festival. American Public Television serves feature award-winning animation short films from around the planet. The 26-episode series was broadcast in 1975 on PBS. Wow. From 2000 to 2002, Marsh appeared on the Ghost Hunter. Her main stage credits include the West End stage and revival of Bullying, okay? The Comedy Theater in 2007, and Peter Hall's production of Portrait Lady in 2008. She made an appearance in 2008 BBC adaptation, Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility. Played the recurring character Lizzie Garbrandt alongside Joanna Ramsey, something like that, as Dominic Jackson, the lead character in Baby Cow's Productions' Stand Up Scam, which aired on BBC's 1, 2, something like that, in 2005 2007. She appeared on BBC 4's Crooked House, and to December 2008 is a role written by her by Mark Gay, something like that. 3-part revival, Upstairs, Downstairs, was commanded on by the BBC, but the first episode broadcast on BBC One on December 26, 2010. Marsh responded to the role as Bruce Buck, which had returned to London to run an agency from dramatic service after a period spent nursing her mother in Suffolk. Elliot Atkins, who co-created the original series with Marsh, also stars a revised series. It was set to the same London house as the original ITV series. 165 agent plays resuming in 1946. Subsequently, a 6-part second series was commissioned, It began transmission in February 2012, with Marsh's character appearing less frequently due to the stroke suffered by the actress. Marsh wrote several books for Abby, also Iliad, and Iris. He was married to actor John Pertwee from 1965 until her divorce in 1960. She had a relationship with Albert Finney, Kenneth Hay, and film director Michael Lindsay Hogg. On October 3rd, 2011, the BBC announced that Marsh had suffered a major stroke when Miss began the second series of Upstairs, Downstairs. She eventually was able to appear in 2 short scenes. The third series was not commenced. and the show was cancelled. She died from the commissions of dementia in her London home on today. She was 9 years old. Much important officer of the British Empire in 2012 birthday honors from the service of drama. And my last death topic has to do with Robert McNeil. I have talked about this last year during my trip to Robin on my Friday show, FWX show, season 10. But now I have to talk about Robins today. It's about courtesy of NPR. Here we go. Robert McNeil, career first anchor of the PBS NewsHour, has passed away last year. He was 93 years old. Now, it was by the Associated Press, seen here. Robert McNeil created the Abraham No Frills PBS newscast, McNeil Lehrer NewsHour in the 70s, and co-anchored the show with his late partner Jim Lehrer for 2 decades. Died last year. He was 93. McNeil died of conventional causes in New York Foundation Hospital, according to his daughter Alison McNeil, which I talked to her in 2021, but she told me, "Thank you so much, Lou, for your kind words." XOXO. It was November 2024. But anyway, McNeil first gained prominence from the coverage of the Senate Watergate hearings from his public broadcasting service, PBS anyway, and began his half-hour Robert McNeil report in PBS 1985 with his friend Jim Lehrer, the Washington correspondent. The broadcast became the McNeil Lehrer report, and then in 1983 was suspended hour, renamed the McNeil Lehrer NewsHour. The nation's first 1-hour evening news broadcast, the presented the Solo Emmy Awards Peabody Awards, remains on the air today with Jeff Bennett on the boss as anchors. Okay, it was McNeil. Let me close this up right now. It was McNeil and Lehrer's establishment was styled the contest of revival news programs on ABC, CBS, and NBC's that led to the program's creations. These don't need to sell the news, McNeil told the Chicago Tribune in 1983. The network's hype with news would make it seem vital and important. What's missing in 22 minutes is context. Sometimes ballads and summations of questions that are raised by certain events. McNeil left anchoring duties NewsHour after 2 decades, 1985 years born. Anyways, to writing full time. Lehrer took over the newscast alone and remained there until 2009. He died in 2020. When McNeil listened to the show October 2005, commemorating the 40th anniversary, he mentioned how much their newscast started in the days before cable television at the time. It was way to do something that seemed to be needed journalistically, and yet was different from what the commercial network news programs were doing, he said. Network wrote several books, including 2 memoirs, The Right Place and the Right Time, and the bestseller Workstruck, and the novels Burn the Desire and The Voyage. Why is more personally, it was not collaborative in the way that television must be, McNeil told Associated Press in 1995. But when you're sitting down writing a novel, it's just you. Is what I think. Here's what I want to do. It's me, said Robin. Anyways, McNeil also created the Emmy Award 1986 series The Story of English, with the McNeil Lehrer production company, who was co-author of the commemoration book of the same name. Another book of language he co-wrote, Do You Speak American, was adopted to PBS documentary in 2005. In 2007, he also serves as the host of American Crossroads, a 6-night PBS package exploring challenges confronting the United States in the post-9/11 world. 6 years before the 9/11 attacks, discussing his sadness and poverty in the news business, he has said, it's something really serious did happen to the nation. A stock market crash like 1929. The crash of Pearl Harbor would be the news just get serious again. When people run from hard copy and intonation, okay? Of course you would. You know what's going on. This case for a while. Born Montreal, 1941, McNeil was raised in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Graduate College University in Ottawa in 1955, for moving to London, where he began his journalism career with Reuters. He switched to CBS News in 1960, taking a job at NBC News, first in London as a foreign correspondent, and in 1963, Neil was transferred to NBC's Washington Bureau, where he was reporting the civil rights in the White House. He covered the assassination of the President John F. Kennedy in Dallas and spent most of 1964 following the presidential campaign between Kennedy's successor, Lyndon Johnson, and Republican Barry Goldwater. In 1965, McNeil became a New York anchor in the first half-hour weekend news broadcast, the Sharon McNeil Report on NBC. While in New York, he was also anchored local newscasts and several NBC News documentaries, including The Big Ear and The Bare Arms. I'll talk about that more on the tributes, the McNeil Lehrer tribute. Anyways, McNeil Lehrer returned to London in 1957 as a reporter in the British Broadcasting Corps, BBC. So anyway, part of our series, while at the BBC, he covered such U.S. stories as the clash between anti-war destroyers and the Chicago police and the 1968 Democratic Convention. The funerals of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., Senator Robert Kennedy, and President Dwight Eisenhower. Wow. In 1971, McNeil left the BBC, became a senior correspondent for PBS, where he teamed up Lehrer to become co-anchor of the public television Emmys when he covered the Senate Watergate hearings in 1973. And that is all Robin. So, now let's do a moment of silence with regards to not 1, not 2, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 dev topics right now. Thank you. Rest in peace, these 14 people. Now, I'm going to talk about one last thing, and that is some ability that I have witnessed earlier this past weekend. And that is, of course, football. And that will be, I saw Billy in person. That is, of course, the Orange and Blue game. And Blue won. 38 points and Orange 32, okay? What happened? Gainesville, Florida. 5th-year senior tailback Joby Jackson rushed the spring game record 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. Placed his Blue squad in the 38-42 victory Saturday and for his annual Orange Blue game showdown, and highlight the end of eye-opening and visual performance in the gorgeous, splashing afternoon Florida fields for that. Jackson at the 5'10", 216 pounder of the Pittsburgh, Florida, managed his yards in just 10 carries for that. Scoring on touchdowns for that. Anyway, let me quit this right now. Hang on. More. Okay. Scoring touchdowns of 22, 3, 40, and 90 yards. The team with quarterback Ian Moyer. The walk-on Yale transfer who started the game last season with the Gators, who completed 10, 23 passes for 157 yards. In the pair of the first half scores. First tight end Hayden Harrison for 8 yards. Second the whiteout Aiden Messel for 24 yards. They helped the Blue open a 4 touchdown lead. For the Orange, quarterback Harrison Bailey, transferred to Louisville through the 363 yards and 3 touchdown defeat. Bailey, who 4 months ago was named MVP of the Sun Bowl. Wow. Completed 23 to 43 attempts through 1 interception. Wow. The further completions were the freshman wide receiver Dallas Wilson. 5-star early enrollee who flipped the Oregon with ELF debut caught 10 passes for 195 yards. Both spring records, 10 TDs for that for 20 and 19s in the fourth quarter. Orange kicker Trey Smack blew the spring record 56 field goal. Wow. Okay. Harold's sophomore quarterback, something like that. Anyway, DJ Rossbitway, something like that, coming out with a terrific freshman season, something like that. Was limited during spring top practice during the sore shoulder, something like that. He took only a handful of snaps Saturday, did not attempt to pass. Ledgway was one of the several Padres soldiers, something like that. It was about a whiteout, Eugene Wilson III, offensive lineman Damian George Jr. and Johnny Harris. Plus nickel, Aaron Gates and safety Bryce Jordan, who sat out for the pathology reasons. The Orange started with 3-0 lead for the reason when a team conversion to practice Thursday, but the first half belonged to the Blue. Well, the Blues behind Jackson's 99 first half, rushing yards for that, 2 touchdowns. Raised the 28-0 lead before freshman running back Duke Clark got orange on the board on the 1 yard running in the foul play before halftime. Wow, I did not know. But anyway, Billy have all the Blue lead on the opening positions on the second half when he threw the 25-yard scoring strike and the wideout Tank Hawkins. Wow. On the Blues, very next snap. Wow. Jacks way up the middle of the race, 9 yards, and scored 35-14 lead. Wow. After that, the Billy Wilson connection that made things interesting as far as the scoreboard. Wow. What it means. Anyways, the very important spring and began the Steve Spire calls talking season. Let the hype come the main way what may began. In the spotlight, okay? Which apologizes Jackson Wilson had the very one else the football team, the halftime celebration honoring the men's basketball team and the feeling 65-63, which I saw earlier yesterday. National Championship victory Monday night over Houston, which I seen before I saw it yesterday. Walter Kyson Jr. smile. Heartfelt Gators boys stay hot. I was hot that day. Wow. Shout out. Anyway, with something to behold. Gator Nation have not had a celebratory moments like that in years. Shattering Solitude and up next. We're going to read those now. 2 years ago, the O&B game ended with a 10-7 score. The two teams is coming to 5 yards. Last year was 19-17, scored at 648 yards. This time has the teams joined forces at 67 points and 831 total yards. Of advantage without largely even in falling the pass. Wow. Well, just what it means with a flush out of the fall. Something like that. Anyway. Up next, the next phase, the up-season, the summer's workouts, events will give way to the start of the fall camp in August. Run up the 2025 season opener is August 31st against Long Island. Wow. The Gators are expected to be debut ranked in the preseason on Associated Press, top 25 Ledgeway of one of the league contenders, the Helson Trophy. Made Coach Billy Neighbors' fourth season, one of the most anticipated U.S. football camp changes in years. That's all for that topic, and that was the Crazy Bunch Web Show episode 101. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be 102. I'm not sure it's going to be as of yet, but we'll see what happens. Until next time, so John's Bunch, baby. We get more Crazy Bunch Web Show for you guys very soon. So, and say out. See ya.